number 5, in the name of Deputy Joe Higgins.
As of the 10th of October 2013, 21,842 internships have commenced since JobBridge was launched in July of 2011. 5,918 job seekers are currently completing an internship, and 2,948 internships are currently advertised and they're available to job seekers. I'm increasing the maximum number of internships that a job seeker can undertake from 2 to 3, and the maximum cumulative duration from 9 months to 18 months. This measure is being introduced to give job seekers who are dissatisfied with an internship and who have not secured paid employment subsequent to an internship a further chance. It's important to highlight that this measure is being introduced in response to feedback from job seekers who have participated in the scheme, and it was one of the recommendations contained in the independent review of the JobBridge scheme. It's also important to note that the maximum duration of any individual internship remains at a maximum of 9 months, and job seekers will not be allowed to take up more than one internship with the same host organisation. So the JobBridge scheme incorporates a number of design features to protect workers and job seekers. These include a cap on the total number of interns that can be hired by any one organisation, limits on the duration of internships, either 6 months or 9 months maximum, a cooling off period so that the organisation cannot hire interns one after another in sequence, requiring organisations to appoint a mentor to each intern, to complete a standard agreement for each intern, and to provide an undertaking that the internship is not being used to displace employees. Host organisations are not permitted to advertise internships in areas where they've recently made redundancies or in areas where they currently have paid posts advertised. They also have to complete and submit a monthly compliance report to the department. We monitor and enforce compliance by screening all applications, providing an online facility for interns or others to report breaches if they see them of any of these conditions. We conduct random site visits. We've had about 9,000 organisations sponsor interns both in the public, private and voluntary and community sector, and over 3,400 monitoring visits to those actual organisation locations have been completed to date, of which 98% have been of a satisfactory nature. Remedial action is taken in all cases of non-compliance.
Thank you, Minister.
The independent evaluation by Indicon found that 61% of interns go on to achieve further paid employment, and that is one of the most successful outcomes in Europe for a scheme of this kind.
Balance of your reply will appear in the official record. Thank you. Deputy Higgins.
Yeah, the reality, Minister, is that 19.5% of interns found employment with their host organisation. It's not surprising that the bulk of your reply was about measures to prevent abuse by employers of internship and internees, and that's no coincidence, because of course it is an abusive scheme by itself, essentially providing free labour of young people to employers. And it's quite clear, Minister, that the JobBridge and the Gateway programme is a ruse to reduce the figures on the live register by 11,000, and the lame excuse for your failure to invest in real jobs with real wages. Would you agree that the facts damn you? Young people are not hanging around as employed in recent days. 32 unemployed persons for every job vacancy in August of this year. Does 32 into one job go, Minister? Isn't the reality that your shameful measure in cutting the benefits for young people up to 26 is to force them into a situation where they are simply subject for free labour and for abuse. And the anecdotal evidence and the real evidence from many people participating in internships is that exactly what is happening.
Minister.
Well, Deputy Higgins, you seem to have much less hope, optimism and admiration for our young people in Ireland than I have. And I speak as somebody who has taught tens of thousands of students at third level over a long career spent with young people. And all I can say to you, Deputy, is walk down any street in Ireland, or certainly come with me perhaps, and you will meet young people and their parents who've had very positive experiences of doing an internship and going on to get subsequent employment. In fact, in the United Kingdom and in the United States, internships are the preserve of very wealthy, well-connected people who ask that their son and daughter or daughter be given experience in the companies and organisations that their friends and their peers may be involved in. We have opened it to everybody, and I'm happy to say, and I'm sure you can have a look at the personal stories of people who have been successful. In relation to the measures on job seekers' allowance that you referred to, can I just say, Deputy, and I said this on Budget Day, but perhaps you weren't listening, the actual investment by the Department of Social Protection in young people in parallel to that measure, the extra investment, will be €46 million. Whereas the saving to be made from the changes in the job seekers will be €32 million. One of the most important initiatives, and I hope that you will actually perhaps promote it, is that employers will be given an incentive of €300 a month from the 1st of January if they take on into their employment a young person who's more than 6 months unemployed. And if they take a young person on who's more than 2 years unemployed, they will get €400 a month cash back. I think that there will be a great interest in this, both by employers and by young people, because all the young people I know desperately want to work, use their talents, use their qualifications, and it's our job politically, and I'd put it to you, it's your job as well,
Minister,
Deputy, to help young people to go back to work and not create a self-image for them, of them, if you like, as you seem to set out, languishing on the dole for the best years of their life. That's not my ambition for our young people. And Deputy, if you're a socialist, it shouldn't be yours.
Deputy Higgins.
That's a pathetic bit of bluster, Minister. The reality is that young people are driven out of this country to 50 or 60,000 a year by your failure to bring in real measures and real investment, to put on a wealth tax, for example, that could yield 1 or 2 billion and invest in real jobs, as opposed to the Mickey Mouse stuff that you're doing, as you slavishly adhere to the Troika programme of sending billions to them every year instead of going into investment. You should be burning with shame today, Minister, as a result of your attacks on the elderly, on the, young pregnant women and on young people. All the more shameful that you do it, by the way, on the 100th anniversary of the working class men and women who fought against the abuse of workers, young and old. The fact that you have lined up with the very type of speculator that was responsible for that tragedy in this government, and you come across with these pathetic schemes instead of real measures. So I asked you, call off your assault on young people and replace it with real investment for real jobs and real hope, and don't patronise the young people as you and the Taoiseach have been doing for the last day to cover up a vicious assault on a group of young people who are desperately looking for employment, but the jobs aren't there. 32 looking
Thank you, Deputy.
for work.
There's a minute of a limit on the
supplementary
question. Thank you.
I have to say, your attitude to young
reply.
people disappoints me terribly, and I know when your party ran a certain council across the water, you had to hire taxis to send out redundancy notices to the poor unfortunate workers who were working in the council of that particular local authority that you ran. It's a historical fact, Deputy, and can I just say,
through the
in
chair,
relation to
can we
Larkin,
stick to question
can
time,
I say
please? Thank
in
you.
relation to Larkin and the anniversary of 1913, that if Larkin were alive today, what he would want and what the strike in 1913 was about was for people to actually get work in a situation where work was closed off to them in terms of the docks and other employments. And I think you have a nerve to
now
come
move on
in
to
here
question number 6.
and to
Thank you.
disparage our young people and to say that our young people are
Minister.
only capable of being on social welfare. And your only vision for our young people is
Minister,
a life on social welfare
the chair?
rather
Thank
than
you.
getting them a
We're
job.
15 minutes over the time allocated for priority
seriously lacking in the understanding of the importance of work in the life of people who have to work.
Thank you, Minister.
In order to be financially independent.
I've called question number 6. Question number 6 in the name of Deputy.
Sorry, 21,000 young
Sorry,
people,
Deputy, would you please?
60%
This is not a debate.
employment.
This is
you
question
seem to
time.
regret young people getting work. I think you're seriously misled, Deputy.
Question number 6 in the name of Deputy Shortall. Thank you.
You're seriously misled.
Now, I'd ask deputies, would you please stick to the allocated time? If you're not happy with the allocated time, please ask your whips to do something and change it at CPP. We're 16 minutes over priority questions, which means that ordinary questions
I think,
will get
Jan
less time.
Corla, it would be very difficult to make Deputy Higgins happy from my acquaintance.
Question number 6, perhaps we could have the reply.
I'm sorry I haven't succeeded at the moment, but perhaps when he reads up further, he'll come to have a bit of a change.
You can have a chat with him afterwards about that. Let's get back to questions.
I'm happy to give him more information on internships and perhaps...
Please, Minister, will you deal with question number 6, please?
Perhaps he'll get converted to the cause of getting young people work. I want to say in relation